Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time that you're watching this. Welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I'd love to apologize for the technical hitches that were in the previous video. Moving forward, I promise to better on the sound. Today, I'm joined by two guests, and I'd love to introduce them. From my right, I'm joined by a guy, and from my left, I'm joined by a beautiful lady who I'd love to introduce herself.
Wangi, a student from the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. I'm taking TV production and I'm glad to be part of the discussion.
Welcome. I'd love to introduce the guy on my right.
Yeah, my name is Eric Maina. I am a student at the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. I am doing a course by the name Broadcast Journalism. Yeah, that's what I do.
Welcome to the show. So today we'll be having a discussion on toxic relationships. I'd love first to get their reviews and their meaning, rather what they understand by the term toxic relationships. I'd love to start with you, Sharon.
I think there are relationships where you don't find peace, where there's never happiness. All you do is complain. You don't understand each other, and you're always on the move because you're never happy.
Okay, Eric.
For me, I think whenever you hear the term toxic relationship, I think these are relationships that are dangerous to stay. First of all, it's a relationship that actually, when you're in that relationship, it's quite, you're not in good terms with each other, and it's something that can actually lead to something dangerous. You see, yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay, so the bottom line for the both of you is that toxic relationships, it's a relationship that makes you feel misunderstood, deemed, and attacked. Okay, maybe what are some of the signs of our toxic relationships?
One sign of toxic relationship, I would say it's maybe insecurity. And what can I term insecurity in this? Where you find that maybe a guy is following you every now and then, or maybe as a guy, a lady is following me every now and then. I mean, that's being toxic. You see, if you actually trust me, why should you keep following me? Maybe I've gone to a party, you're telling me that I take a video so that you can actually see me. What's that? I mean, if trust is there, but insecurity, I may not term it that much, because toxic is something that is dangerous. Toxic is something that can actually harm you. One sign of it, it's where we find, like, let me explain by gender-based violence. GBV is a very good sign of it. Let me not lie on the insecurity part of it. That's not toxic. The gender-based violence is more toxic, because this is where you find either the husband or the wife is beaten. Because even nowadays, husbands are beaten by their wives, which is also gender-based violence. Yeah.
Okay, Sharon, maybe you could tell us some of the signs that you could tend to point out and say this is a toxic relationship sign.
For me, the biggest sign is disrespect. As you said, for the violence to start, it starts with that one time when he's just when you're getting into a relationship, you both sit down and agree on this, and this is what I want, and this is what I don't. This is what I don't want. So, like, the moment you tell him this is what you don't want, at the moment, as in you tell each other this is not what I want, then you go ahead and start doing what he doesn't want and what she doesn't want. Frequently, that is, I think that's the basis, the home of toxicity, because the fact today you'll do this, I'll forgive you. Tomorrow the same, you're forgiven. Then by the time you're doing it for the third, fourth time, I'm tired, and I start reiterating, and maybe this toxicity comes as a result of you fighting, because you're not being heard, you're not being listened to, and most men don't like competition, ama hawapendi kuambiwa. So like amekudisrespect leo, ukamwambia mimi sipendi venye umefanya hivi na hivi, like you need to do something else. Lakini the moment umesema hataki, yako like you wanna rule me, you wanna control. So like I would think the root cause is disrespect for me, and the second one is egos.
Being egocentric. Okay, in your POV, what do you make being somebody to be toxic?
At times, toxicity is as a result of your upbringing. Maybe growing up, you didn't really experience love. What you saw at your place and what I saw is different. So like your mindset and my mindset are not the same. But your view of love is not my view of love, and you wanna force what I want. At times, people don't know they are toxic, because what is toxic to me is not toxic to you. So like I think toxicity is all about, I don't know what you think toxicity is. Like your mindset.
Okay. Eric, in your own point of view, what do you think makes somebody to become toxic?
For me, I might just echo what Sharon has said. I think it's what you have actually grown up seeing, because there's some men who have grown up having the mentality that a woman must be beaten for her to be on the right track. You see, there are some men who actually think that for a woman must be very subjective to them. You see, so it's kind of a mentality that you've actually umeka kwa akili yako that you must do this and that to your wife or rather to your partner. So for me, toxic relationship is all about the mentality and maybe the upbringing. You know how the society that you grew up in. It really affects you in one way or the other. Yeah.
So okay, maybe the relationship imeanza vizuri, you two, the two of you, you're good and you're great, and then in the middle ama katikati ya njia relationship yenu inaanza kuwa toxic. What do you think tends to, like, ni nini inakujanga, ni clash gani inakujanga hapa ina tend to divert the things from the way they were?
I think it's miscommunication because the what guy got the biggest pillar of not pillar no like the biggest what Jesus hey the biggest nasema nini like no mwelewane kwa relationship kitu ya kwanza hapo ni communication. At the moment communication imebreak hakuna venye you'll go ahead and be fine. So like for toxicity to come in, like I had said before, you're not understanding each other because you're not communicating. And if you're communicating, one person is not communicating, one person is receiving the information, but according to what we've learned, communication is the act of receiving information and acting upon it. So like there must be a response. So like communication is not me telling you Stella do this and then I say I've communicated. Communication is I tell you to do this then you do. Sasa hapo kuna communication. So like the same applies kwa relationship. Nikisema like manini I don't want you coming home late. Then you come home late every day. You know, hapo hakuna communication because unaambiwa na ufanyi na tena ndio relationship yako ikuwe toxic pia. Mnaweza kuwa mna over communicate na bado kuna communication as a whole, so you need kuna over communication na under communication. You might be over communicating and you're leading to fights, and now the toxicity comes in because like I've said, most men don't like to be told. Wanasemaga wana control, they want these submissive women, super women who amekuja leo umemosha miguu, umemtoa, umemfungua shati, umefanya, lakini forgetting that hizi ni vitu tunaona kwa soaps na vipindi na si vitu. I really don't think kuna love kai, it's not there. Like you want this woman who umefika kwa nyumba, umepikiwa, umeoshoa, forgetting that she went to work too, she's tired, akona stress yao, bosses wanyona wafanyanga kwa na stress na yao, akona pressure kazi, akona pressure, akona assignments, akona kila kitu. So like for this toxicity to come, I think it's as a result of miscommunication ama lack of communication at all.
Okay, so essentially for you, communication is very key in a relationship.
Yeah, communication is
Everything.
yeah.
Okay, Eric, what's your point of view?
For me, what actually brings toxicity in a relationship? There are a lot of factors. First of all, as I said, maybe kuna alcoholism. You see, when maybe one of you is a drunk person, you see, una abandon some of your majukumu, and maybe a husband comes home drunk, maybe amepata hapo, the husband hataki kuambiwa kwamba you are late, maybe you've not paid the fees and such kind of stuff. We have other things like what? I said alcoholism. I'd say maybe ego, maybe cheating. Let me say cheating. Cheating can also contribute to the relationship being toxic, because maybe maybe as a lady or rather as a guy, you're someone who cannot be trusted. You see, the lady has to follow you up to actually see what you're doing, and that's where you find, as I was saying, as we were starting this topic, you find why insecurity comes in, because I don't trust you. You see. So I have to keep on following you to ensure that you don't cheat on me, you see, and that can actually contribute to the relationship being toxic, because we don't trust each other. If a relationship does not have trust, then there are no basis on that relationship.
Okay, so there's something that Sharon has said about men feeling intimidated because at times as females we also undergo the same things that the guys go through, right? Is it true that you guys tend to feel like intimidated? At times we have the pressure from work, just as you, and then when you come home you expect me to be all submissive to you. I mean, what's your take on that?
I'm not married, so I'll not. But my take on that, because that's for married couples. But my take on that is absolutely when as a lady you enter into a marriage, you absolutely need to know your work, your role in that marriage. Kama bwanako anataka kwamba umpikie, yeah, maybe bwanako hataki apikiwe na maid. You just have to do that. But as a husband also, you need to understand what the nature of work that your wife has. No, no. Maybe your wife is a journalist and she has been all over akiranuku na makamera. Just nowadays the generation is changing, everything is changing, so you can actually, it's relationship is all about understanding. Mnaelewana. If actually know about your nature of work, I'll just I know how to handle myself out, how to sort myself out, you see. So it's all about understanding. That's all I can say.
Sharon, what can you tell the guys who feel intimidated by the way girls tend to like put hard work in the stuff that they tend to do?
I'll tell them we're changing, we're evolving as a country, as a nation, and the world at large. So like men need to stop thinking that. You need to stop using the word barbaric and archaic. I don't know. They need to stop those archaic traditions. Some of those stupid stupid mindsets they have that, for you to be a complete woman, you must, you must do this and that. You must be the type who comes home, by 8, by 9. Not everyone is doing that. Not everyone is doing that. Plus, you want women who will bring something to the table. But the moment I go out and work, it's something else. My bosses are doing this and that. I'm getting late. I'm not cooking. But you can also do the same. You can cook. You can wash utensils, and I can also do the same. So like, I think you should strike a balance between, men should strike a balance between work, children, no, work and family.
Okay, since you've both told me the definition of toxic relationships, the sign, what can turn somebody into being toxic and everything, I'd love for you to tell me, like, how would you tend to, like, try and fix this toxic relationship?
I'll try and fix this. First of all, the relationship is about communication, as she had said, about trust, about understanding. So when such key things lack in a relationship, then the relationship ends up to be miserable. It ends up to not working. I find I work. So for me, I believe it's about understanding. It's about trust with each other. That I know that if Stella, you're going to Mombasa, I don't really have to follow you up a moment. Maybe this companies zinaitangwa aje hizi. I don't know what they term them. Sijui zinaitangwa meetup, sijui venye zinaitangwa, nimesahau. Au umeenda hiyo, I trust you, so there's no need for me to actually keep on following you. You see, we communicate. You actually tell me what you're going through, and I get to understand. We understand each other. We agree on things. That is something that you can actually do to solve these things, because it's about trust, understanding, and knowing each other more. Yeah.
Okay, Sharon?
I think before you get into a relationship, you should first try and get to learn the type of person the type of person your partner is, and secondly, as you're learning who they are, okay, no, first and foremost, you just pray. Not everything we see that it's not written on the face. Ukinipata sahi, like naongea hapa lakini hujui who I really am, and some situations and circumstances push us to push us to people we were never, people we were not. So like, before you get into a relationship, make sure you know that person, involve God, involve your parents. Ask people who are older than you, and try, like he said, communicate better, be honest with each other, and just first, before you get into a relationship, sit and talk, like kukuwe na do's and don'ts. Si kudate alafu unaambia mtu usifanye hivyo, kwa like kukuwa niambia. So like, at times tuna expecting vitu zikuwe obvious, but it's never that obvious. You need to say, you need to speak so that you can be heard. Juu communication ni kuongea na kurespond, so si kuongea na ama kuexpect vitu zi happen out of the blue. I'm here, tuseme nataka kufanyiwa nini, I expect that my husband ama ndio my boyfriend, being who he is, he should pick me from work every day. I don't really say that. We are different. Kama wako anakujia kazi, wangu unipikia. So like, ongea na to avoid hizi comparisons za ufala. Like, kama unabaiwa ndege, kama sijafika hapo, let me appreciate the bread he brings every day. Yeah.
Stella, let me echo just what she said. She has touched a very vital point about praying, and actually, when you get into a relationship, you're supposed to know when you're unaingia naye, because most of the times we as young guys especially, we are rushing into things. You have just met someone, you even don't know even maybe your characters in align with each other, and when you enter into that relationship, it's when you realize, or rather notice, you start seeing the flaws of your partner, but you had not seen this before. It's good to actually get to know each other first before you enter into a relationship. Take time to know each other. If you become even friends, know the weaknesses and the strength of this guy. If he's weak, if he's angry, how far can he go? You see, because sometimes you see you have umeingia kwa relationship, but you don't know the guy, and that's why you hear that maybe husband and wife have wamewana, because you see, maybe the wife did not know the weaknesses of this guy. I mean, how far can he go? Know your partner before you get into a relationship, and most of all, pray, because the prayer is everything. It's the basis of everything, for sure.
I'm loving the point that you both have raised about prayer, about praying about for our partners. There's something that I wanted the two of you to like touch on, because you're very key on the communication part. What about the compromising part? Compromising in that you're my partner, I'm dating this person, and there's this something that I'm already used to, like it's a part of my life, but since you're the character in my life, like you're my boyfriend, I'm dating you, and you don't seemingly like tend to like fit in it. How do I compromise to like make you fit in my space and I still want to continue doing this thing oftenly as I used to before you came in?
Just like I had said, before you start dating this person, you had the chance to know each other. You knew this is what he likes, this is what she likes, this is what he hates, this is what she likes, he hates and likes. So like if there's something that you both don't agree on, one of you will have to adjust. Because at the end of the day, it's about coming to an understanding. So like I think if you really don't get to terms, mkiona haiwezi kabisa, then don't get into a relationship, because hizo ndio vitu zinafanya mtam vitu zikiwa toxic. Because si mademu sema, and I'm sorry to say this, nitamtoa kwa bar and I'll take him to church. But let me tell you, and then we come and tell it, tunajiambia aje ati mwanaume ananipenda ata change. There's nothing like that. Ulimtoa kwa bar, wewe dem ulikuwa sijui present worship, utaenda kwa hiyo bana yeye, because there's no way you'll change what I used to do, unless that person is determined to change, unless that person wants to really be okay, this version of him or her, for her, not for you. So like we need to stop thinking that nikimchukua akifanya hivi atawacha juu he shows me he loves me, she shows me she loves me, she does this and that. Like yes, we'll go extra miles for people we love, but at first before mdate, make sure boy ama udem amework on who they are, aka improve personality na akakuwa someone you really want, ndio udate mtu anasema ana kucompliment. Like we told from where I come from our home church, tunaambiwa date a prayer partner, not a prayer item. So like that's all I have to say.
Okay, Eric?
Just to work on what she said, they say that show me your friend and I'll show you your character. If actually still I don't need to know you much, just show me your friend and actually tell you who you are. So basically on the issue of compromising, if at all I found you in what you're doing, for me I can't date a lady who is an alcoholic. I mean, if I don't drink, I mean, my ways and hers are quite different. You see, so there's no way I'll change her. I'll absolutely just suffer from stress, suffer from depression, and I don't want to renew my heart. You see, so basically, what I'm trying to say, it depends on what kind of compromising. If it's your nature of work, I can actually adapt to it. Maybe you're a doctor, and I understand. I mean, that's nature. But if it's other things like maybe kupatisana, I can't adopt to that. Hata we can't even hatuwezi ingiana for sure. That's according to me. Yeah, but according to maybe other people utapata, you attract what you are. Yeah, basically. So utapata tu mtu wako basically. Yeah.
Maybe just trust. Has either of you been in a toxic relationship before?
I've not been in one.
You've never?
Yeah.
For me, I've never been. I avoid a lot. I avoid any kind of relationship that can actually make me become stressed. At this young age of mine, I cannot.
Okay, maybe to wind up, in your POV, do you think that like toxic people can change their ways and become like better versions of themselves?
Yes, they can, but I really don't think they are toxic people, but we're toxic via our mindsets. Like we need to change how we view things. We need to stop being super negative about everything. Okay, you can't be an overly positive person, but you can avoid this not stupid, but you can avoid this negativity. Hizi zingine vitu zingine za kujiekelea juu. You just don't want to live life. You too much into unasoma utaipata kazi, una date a cheat, amehagu udemo amependana. Like we need to tufunguke akili, and we're evolving, so like let's just change.
All right.
For me, I believe that yes, toxic people can change. It all depends with what you're doing. If actually it's your company, you change your company, because there are men who actually roll out with guys who are telling them that maybe anafaa kupigwa. If you actually don't beat your wife, then you're not a man enough. You see, there are men who actually what you observe as your mind, what you actually take in your mind actually really affects you. So it all depends with, maybe you decide kwenda church, and not just going to church. You go to church, ukijua chenye unaenda kufanya, you see, and engage with people with a clear mindset who actually wanakuonyesha vitu, wanakuambia maono. Because for me, I say that company really affects you a lot. Your company stellar can actually take you forward, ama ikurudisha nyuma. It can actually show you what to do. So company yako inaweza kuambia, because I don't believe I'm in a company where my friends are church going, wanafanya vitu zenye ziko right and I'm wrong. Then I'm not in the right, then I'm the wrong person in the company. So yes, toxic people can change, and it all starts with the mentality and whoever you're spending your time with, basically.
Okay, thank you so much. Since we are coming to a closure of this program, maybe you can tell people the last words, and maybe you can also attach your social media platforms, your handles, so that people can get to reach out to you.
Okay, I would love to urge. Is it urge? Okay, my parting shot is simple. As you getting into relationships, just make sure you involve God and just pray about it. Yeah. So, my social media handles on Instagram, you can get me at Shay_Soni, and on TikTok at Shay782. Yeah. Thank you.
She's mentioning a very vital point, involving God. Because for me, I realized that all my relationships were ungodly. No wonder they were not working. That's what I actually concluded, because I forgot. Niliketivi nikajiuliza, why don't they work? Because they are ungodly. Ungodly relationships haziendangi mahali, let me tell you for sure. Because you guys, kazi yenyu tu ni kuwa na flow, and maybe I expect something ungodly from you and you're not giving it to me, so it doesn't work. So the first thing that, in case you're engaging in a relationship, ensure that it's godly based, and you guys just take time to know each other. So at Eric Mine on all social media platforms, that's where you find me.
Thank you so much for joining me in today. Maybe you could leave your comments here below. We can get to discuss whatever it is that you have to review. In conclusion, we have gotten that we need to pray, we need to have a prayer partner, and we also need to have communication, compromising, and everything that Sharon and Eric have mentioned. Remember to keep it locked for episode 2 for more of this discussion of the same about toxic relationships. See ya!